Okay, so on November 16th, no, let's try this. So I'm going to do this in 2 parts. A little bit of the chatting, the creation, the writing. I'll record it here, just like a one take. And then I'm going to try to produce it a little further and use my guitar, like maybe multiple guitars, a little MIDI, add some other vocals and sounds and stuff. Sounds good? Okay. So I actually tried starting this with another instrumental that a friend sent me, but this is happening more organically, so let's roll with whatever creative juice is flowing. So this is the notebook that it's kind of a mess right now because I've ripped out pages and tried to show them back. Can you see? I started the first part of this on the 16th of November, and like 4 lines came out of that. And so those words, this is gonna be very vulnerable because sometimes I put things down and they just seem so either overly like too simple or silly. Like that often happens to me when I go back to look at old poems or songs that I started writing that I parked and then come back to. Sometimes you'll read it and you'll be like, yes, I want to stick with this longer. And other times you'll read it and you'll be like, I thought I was being profound and it's just embarrassing. You know? I still don't trash them though, because sometimes you give it a few more months and you come back and you're like, it was profound. Okay. So I don't usually title things right away. But I did put the top of this paper. I'm trying to remember why I did this, but sometimes if there's a word or a phrase or something that either sticks out to me as just being like the kernel that this rest of the song is written around, or sometimes it's not even in the song at all, but it's just what's in my brain when I hear something like that song. But the kernel that I wrote around was initially glass bottles, and then it was green glass bottles, and then what I wrote here is glass bottles green. I don't know if I was just trying to be creative, but for me, green bottles reminds me of the Heineken beer bottles back home that typically you would find when anyone would, potlucks, post-game meals at the beach, like, to me that's what I thought. That's the only like kind of beer I thought really existed. Not really existed, but like it's like dominated my memory. But yeah, green bottles. So that's what I was thinking about. But the reason why I think I started with this was just realizing in these particular times with COVID and quarantine and work, family, social life, community, all that's been switched up and disrupted by the way we are trying to avoid getting ourselves and others sick. There's so many consequences to that, and already added upon compounding like issues and grief that people had and were living through before this. So there's a lot of shit going on and has been going on before this and still through this. And I guess what I'm trying to say is there are some things, these behaviors or habits that you've picked up, that I've picked up during this season. Are all of them healthy? No. Do I want to shake some of them? Yes. Do I give myself a lot of grief over having them or not having yet shook them? I'm getting irritated with my bangs, whatever's going on. Yes. And I don't know if this is more about just having grace on ourselves and understanding that who we were at our core before all this, that still exists. That is still there. Even though this has changed and this has changed and maybe even some of the inside stuff has changed, hopefully grown, but just changed. That if I loved you before, I love you now. Yeah. I'm so fixated on this. Okay, so this is part 1. Give me some background. In the future, I'll probably start with that before I even get to this, but I'm gonna share with you what I have right now. this is the stuff that came first. Don't be embarrassed of the number of glass bottles you've walked out to the street corner the morning after. I just want to hear from you. And I just want to hear from you. I just want to hear from you. Because we're being honest, I'm going to read this next part, the ugh, that haven't been building into it. It says, how could you have planned for this? Could you have known? Or how could you have... Never mind. I'm just not liking it already. In part, maybe in pieces, maybe in many pieces. Not all of it, never all of it, and all together at once. I'm not really sure if I was just trying to like bleh, drop it on the page, or if I thought that it had something, but I can't remember. I cannot remember what I was thinking here. And maybe I have it recorded, but I don't remember loving it enough to go back and listen to it. So we're going to try to either see if it still fits the direction I was going, because I've added more since. I might just trash it all together. Okay, what I added just like 20 minutes ago was kind of in the same like template as that first part that I did like, that I stuck with. And it's the denim. First I put the jeans are not fitting. A little straightforward. And then I switched it to denim ain't fitting. And instead of like they used to, I put like she used to. Gonna give some, personify my pants. Like she used to. I originally, before I crossed out, put skin and folding on the sides. I put curves with rolls and rolls when you lie down on your side. Is it lie down or lay down? Because I put lay down, and then in my brain, I sing lie down. I gotta look that up. Not that it totally matters, but I'm just curious. Soft, still tender, nothing wrong with ya. Nothing wrong with you. Yeah, feels better. Nothing wrong with you. Please just remember, I just want to hear from you. I just want to hear from you. So I'm going to make an executive call on my song. I'm going to talk to the board members. That's what I thought. I might get rid of that middle piece that I'd mentioned. I just don't know what it's for. Yeah, I'll show you this so far. I don't even really know yet what is verse and what is chorus. In my heart of hearts, it doesn't matter to me because it'll become what it needs to become. But it does matter to me in the sense of sometimes I like to be able, I want to know what I'm doing. I want to put some like parameters so that I can just stretch and like, you know, sometimes boundaries help you experiment, because instead of just this open orb of like whatever, you start to fill in those jars, and then if you have to crack open a jar and be like, I don't want this to be a jar, I want it to be shattered glass with jam everywhere, you can do that. That makes no sense. I'm not really set this is gonna be the intro. I'm just doing it right now. Yeah. No, it's not. Don't be embarrassed of the number of glass bottles you sorry, my phone said I needed to clear storage space. Maybe writing another verse. Let's write another verse. So kind of address the drinking, the body. What relationship in here? Basketball dribbling. Friendships. 1 second. Hey Ty, can you close that in between door? I'm trying to record. This is it. Something about, yeah, relationships, friendships. I'm just gonna go for it. It feels cheesy, but I'll spend more energy trying not to sound cheesy than just to. So things like your phone is silent. I don't know what it's called. No one is calling. No one is calling. Your hours are. The hours are bleeding or blending. Are blending. 1 minute. 1 minute after the next. Your phone is silent. Oh, this probably is it. No one is calling. The hours are blending. 1 minute. Minute after minute. Maybe minute after. I don't know. I'll put that. Minute turns to. The hours are blending, so I'm trying to communicate that, like, even sense of time, there used to be maybe more structure, or because you had freedom of movement, your days were like propped up by, like, there was by people who were expecting to see you or work they were expecting done. And whereas I'm still working, a lot of people obviously are still working during this time, either from home or they're essential workers. So it's not saying that there isn't work, but work feels different if you're going to a location or you're working from home. So many things have had to change about how you communicate with people you're working with, how you utilize your time that you do have in person, if you have it in person, if you don't, how to be in the same room with them, essentially, without being in the same room. And then that brings up this whole feeling of, like, how do you even guard your time? Because you're kind of, if you're not at work, wherever work is or whatever, then there's this sense that you're always available, but you never were always available. I'm rambling again. I have to do this, probably processing. Trying to put this out there. So if this feels like too much, this is not the video for you. Your phone is silent, no one is calling. The hours are blending. Minutes turn to days. Where you blink. That's not, obviously not literal. It's more like your sense of time, your rhythm has been disrupted to the point that you either have to rebuild it, or even every time you rebuild it, because our world is experiencing these convulsions. Like, even if you establish a rhythm, you soon become aware that you must establish a new one. So your time is just like, what is it? Your phone is silent, no one is calling. Oh, was this gonna be about relationships? The hours are blending, minutes turn to days. I kind of like that one better than 1 minute after the next. You are alone. You are alone, babe. You are alone, babe. A lot of people are alone. So this might be kind of cheesy. I said, you are alone, babe. Pick up your phone, babe. And that line is more to lead into that chorus that I have right now. I don't really mean that. There are people who have been physically alone, and that is a whole other degree of loneliness. Even if you are introverted, I mean, I really like my alone time, but I'm not just talking about like physically alone, but when you don't have support and companionship, both to celebrate and to mourn with, like that can be pretty rough when all your other avenues of how you used to fill those pieces as you needed and wanted it, by going out, sharing time and space with people at a park or at a show or a venue or a team sport, or going to a movie and being alone but being in the same space with a bunch of people, or maybe a ton of like volunteer work that you did, but you did it in person with folks where you could see their faces and you could hang out with them after. Like, you don't have that. So even if you are socially not as needy and much more introverted these times, a lot of folks, there's like maybe we need a new word for this kind of loneliness. Or like that, even if you have people that you just feel so in a wheel, like a hamster wheel, that you're like, you start to feel like I'm alone, even though we know we're not alone, but we feel alone. So you are alone, babe. Pick up your phone, babe. I just wanna hear from you. Maybe I need to hear from you. Let me hear. Let's see what comes up. Okay, let's just try this last part. Your phone is silent, no one is calling you. The hours are blending, minutes turn to days. You are alone, babe. Pick up your phone, babe. I just wanna hear from you. Back to the beat. I just wanna hear from you. I need to hear from you. I need to hear from you. How did I do that? Your phone is silent, no one is calling you. That's it. I mean, it's redundant, but I kind of like how it drops. Your phone is silent, no one is calling you. The hours are blending, minutes turn to blending, minutes turn to days, minutes turn to are blending, minutes turn to days. You are alone, babe. beginning to end with a slight flip of the page in the middle of it. Excuse me. Can we make that? Let me make that, okay. Don't be embarrassed. Oh, the number of glass bottles you have walked out to the street corner the morning after. I just wanna hear from you. I just wanna hear from you. Dinner ain't fitting like she used to. Curves with rolls and rolls. When you lay down on your side, soft, still tender, nothing wrong with you. Please remember, I just wanna hear from you. I just wanna hear from you. Page flip. Your phone is silent. No one is calling you. The hours are blending. Minutes turn to days. You are alone, babe. Pick up your phone, babe. I just wanna hear from you. 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 Couple mistakes and this freaking awkward page flip with the pen. This didn't really work. Kind of engineered it. Thought it would be like a quick didn't work. But yeah, that's tentatively being called. Maybe I'll call it green bottles. No, because that engenders a different feeling from back home and childhood, and it's not really the conversation I'm trying to have. Probably glass bottles.